Denver Mayor Michael Hancock and Councilwoman Kneich submitted a final version of Denver's proposed minimum wage increase. If passed by the council, the minimum wage in Denver will go to over $13 next year and over $15 in 2021. Joe, there's a lot of different economic arguments on the effectiveness of raising the minimum wage like this, but what do you think of Denver's current proposal? Because as Colorado's biggest city, most populous, it's likely going to set a few trends and have some ramifications. When you saw this proposal move forward, what were your thoughts?
Yay, finally. I've been a big advocate for raising the minimum wage. We need to have a livable wage here in the state of Colorado, and particularly in Denver with the high cost of living, and even $15 an hour doesn't really get you much in Denver. You're having to still live outside the Denver proper area. But it makes it a little bit easier for working families when you raise the minimum wage. And we have seen through multiple studies on other places where they have raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour, it doesn't have such a marketable effect on business by doing that. So this is a good way to go.
Lucille, it's not as if the city would be able to go back and lower the rate if for some reason this was a problem. So once they're going there, they're there. Do you think it's a slam dunk with the council, and what do you think of the move?
I absolutely think it's a slam dunk. And we have enough research back from other places that we know that this isn't something where voters have come back and said, we absolutely want for people to get paid less. Coloradans deserve it. Coloradans are hardworking, and they need to know that their state is there to make sure that they are able to get the compensation that they deserve. Colorado families are really just trying to, a lot of them just survive. It links to so many other issues that we're talking about, specifically homelessness. And so if you're able to give Coloradans a fair shot, literally help them meet their most basic needs, why wouldn't we do that?
Patty, we've been talking about minimum wage laws around this table for a long time. In fact, when we had, I think it was a state issue a couple of years ago. The Denver Restaurant Association is still not behind this, not as if they would be. I don't think they ever were. But are there at least some complications that are possible for the city of Denver in making this move? And do you think there are other cities kind of waiting on seeing the impact in Denver if they were going to pursue something like this themselves?
They won't see the impacts that quickly. That's one of the issues. It's the Colorado Restaurant Association, and they had a very legitimate complaint, which is, this was moved through a little quickly. Everyone wants people to earn more money, and in fact, most people working in restaurants are earning far above what this minimum wage level will be. If you get into the arcane legislative issue, the problem is the tip credit, which is how tips are shared in a restaurant, and the people who are waiting on tables and are definitely earning below a certain level and it'll get bumped up, earn far more than what we're talking about raising the minimum wage. But the way this will be divided in restaurants will actually hurt the back of the house people. So that's what the Colorado Restaurant Association was trying to work out, parity. And now what they'll have to do is go to the legislature, because it's actually a Colorado state law, this tip credit program, and work it out. And I think they will try to do that. But the reason that Hancock changed it is because of the Colorado Restaurant Association.
Patty, Krista, I'm not an economist here, but I know some basic economics that if any cost is passed along to an employer or a business, it doesn't just come out of profits because it's the nice thing to do. Either prices go up or less employees are going to be there. Something has to give because it's an increased cost, just like it would if price of food went up. It's not as if beef goes up, my brother is a chef at a restaurant, if beef goes up, he has to raise the prices or do something about it. What do you see as potential ramifications, especially on the cusp as some predict of a recession in the next year or two?
You can't break the laws of economics. I mean, if you look at the Congressional Budget Office, which is a nonpartisan office, they looked at a $15 minimum wage increase at the federal level and found that 1 million people would lose their jobs. If you look around the country where states have adopted these $15 minimum wages, you'll see that people lose their hours or they lose their jobs. It's quite simple. If a job is worth $13 an hour and the government comes in and says, oh no, it's worth $15 an hour, that job goes away. You can't wave a magic wand, you can't break the laws of economics.